Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing today? Can I get a thumbs up? Good. Nice to see you all. So today we're going to do something a little different. I know a couple of you have steel maces at home, so we're going to work with them today. I'm going to show you how to go through a whole entire full body workout just using your steel mace. And then right in the beginning here, we're just going to do a couple of joint flossing drills to kind of get everything all warmed up and loosened up before we start with our steel mace. If you're not familiar with a steel mace, it's basically a long piece of steel with a weighted end at the bottom, okay? They come in different pounds. This is a 15 pound. If you're a beginner, you're probably gonna wanna do a 5 pound, okay? If you do not have a steel mace at home, you can use a PVC pipe or even a broomstick, yardstick, whatever you have. PVC pipe's going to be great just to kind of go through the motions until you get used to everything. And then if you like using it, then you can grab the steel mace. So what we're going to start with first is our feet, because our feet are super duper important. Our feet are the foundation for everything that we do, squatting, deadlifting, you name it. So we're just going to start first with some basic pronation and supination. So this movement is coming right from your ankle joint. So think the joint underneath the two bones that stick out on the side of your foot. And you're just going to allow your feet to roll in and then roll out. I don't want to see a lot of hip motion. The motion's not coming from your hips. You also don't want to have your toes coming off the ground when you're doing this, okay? So feet and toes are on the ground and you're just moving and rocking side to side from that ankle joint. We're going to do about 7 to 10 of these. From there, we're going to turn to the side a little bit. You're going to bring your heel up just slightly, maybe about a ½ inch to 1 inch off the ground. And what you're going to do is pulse down into the arch of your foot. So all of my weight is on the balls of my big toes, my little toe, my second toe, third toe, fourth toe. So what we're trying to accomplish here is your arch should spring up and down like a trampoline, okay? I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna bring my heel up slightly. Weight is all through the balls of my 1st through 5th toes, and I'm going to just gently pulse down through my arch. My heel never touches the ground. And again, we'll do 7 to 10 reps, depending on where you're comfortable. Good. From there, we're going to work on the outer part of our foot, which coincides with our fibula. Our fibula is that long bone on the side here. So we're going to take, I'm actually going to use my steel mace to do this because I want to make sure the chain is closed, makes it a little bit easier. I'm going to turn onto the side of my foot. So now I'm literally on the lateral blade or the outer part of my foot, okay? And what I'm going to do is just gently pulse down into that 5th metatarsal or that outer part of my foot. We are trying the whole entire time to keep our foot perpendicular to the floor. So now I don't know if you guys can notice on the camera here, but if you look at my right foot, it stays pretty vertical. If you look at my left foot, because of course I'm not warmed up yet, it doesn't look nearly as vertical as the right one does. And this is feeling a little tight to me today. So there's some stuff in here I got to work out. Good. From there, we're going to just do some gentle hip and knee circles. So feet are going to be together. They don't have to be stacked on top of each other, but together. And you're just going to come down into knee flexion, to the side, back into knee extension, and then down again into flexion. So it kind of looks like you're doing a little hula hoop, but you're not doing it from your hips. You're doing it more from your knees Okay, I'll show you from the side. And we're going to do clockwise and then counterclockwise. And we want to make sure that we are going through knee extension, knee flexion, knee extension, knee flexion. And just notice what you feel in your body. What's moving, what's not moving. Okay, shake that out a little bit. Now we're going to work on our shoulders. So we're going to do something I like to do, like to call the corkscrew. So one palm's going to go up, one palm's going to go down. And then you're going to rotate back and forth. Now, as I'm doing this, the palm that is up is actually kind of going back towards the wall. The palm that's going down, my shoulder is actually kind of rotating and coming through. Okay, so let me get a little closer here so you can kind of see what's going on. I'll show you from the side. Okay. Might get some crunching in there. That's okay, as long as you're not getting any pain. And then last, let's work on our ribs, okay? We wanna make sure that our ribs are moving so that our shoulder blades can move and our shoulder joints can move. So what we're gonna do first is clasp our hands together. You can do them however you want. You wanna look like you're shooting a little pistol, you can. And then all you're gonna do with your hands is reach out. You can see how my ribs and my thoracic spine, the middle part of my back rounds, and then I'm gonna pull back in. So press out and then in. Out and then in. Okay? If you don't want to use your arms, you don't have to. You can simply just go out with your ribs. So I'm going out that way and then back. And then out and then back. Might get some cracks and pops in there, that is okay. All right, so we got our steel mace here, okay? We're going to start with just doing some squats. So you can hold this however you want. We're gonna do it horizontal for right now, okay? So with our squat, we're just gonna come down as low as we can. Come up, okay? Come down, come up. What I would do is do 5 with the heavy end on one side, switch hands, and then do 5 again, okay? Remember with our squats, we wanna make sure that we have our tripod foot. If you've been doing this for a while with me, you know what your tripod foot is by now. For those that are new, you wanna make sure you have equal weight underneath the ball of your big toe, ball of your little toe, and your heel. So as you're driving up and down in your squat, you want to make sure those 3 points have weight evenly distributed, okay? So if I was doing my squat and I feel like, hey, I got too much weight back on my heels, I need to correct and figure out where I need to be to get that weight distribution better, okay? So you guys are still working on that. We're going to do 10, 5 on each side. Once you've done one side, flip the steel mace back to the other side, okay? Again, making sure you have your tripod foot, making sure your knees tracking out over your 5th toe, making sure your ribs and your pelvis, your hip bones, they stay stacked or sitting on top of each other, okay? Good. Now there's another way to do your squat, and we're gonna do it with the mace vertical now, okay? If you wanna make it easier, slide it down. If you want to make it harder, slide it up, okay? You're going to come down, come back up, okay? Nothing changes with the squats that we just did. Squat form is the same. We'll do 1 set of 10. Good. You guys keep going, and remember, you still have your tripod foot, Knees still going out over your fifth toe. Ribs are still stacked. Okay. From there, we're going to do a front squat. So now our supposed barbell, AKA steel mace, is in our front rack position. Again, a little bit offloaded, okay? So we want our elbows up as high as we can get them, preferably perpendicular to, or I'm sorry, parallel to the floor. So not here, but here, okay? And we're gonna do the same thing. Squat form does not change. We'll do 5 on the right, meaning the bell end is on my right side. After your 5th rep, you're going to switch, go back to the opposite side. So now I'm in my left side for 5. And 5. Good. That is our front squat. We've already done back squat. Okay. Next, we're going to do a thruster. So a thruster is a front squat, like we just did, into a press. Okay. Same thing. We're going to do 5 on one side and 5 on the other. So I'm in that front rack position, just like I just did with my front squat. I'm coming down, and then I'm going to press overhead. Come back down, go into my front squat, press overhead. Okay, so we're going to do 5. Once you've done 5, you're going to repeat the same thing in the other side. So I'm going to go back into my front rack position. Elbows are up. Squat, press. Squat, press. Squat, press. Squat, press. And then one more. Very good. That is our thruster. Okay. Next, we're going to work on lunges. Okay. A couple different ways you can do this. I think for you guys, we're going to start with just the easy way. Okay. So we're going to step forward, go down as far as you can, come back up. Okay. From the side, you don't want to take too far of a step. That's going to be too much. So take a step forward, kind of like your split stance. Drop straight down, come back up. Okay. 5 on one side, 5 on the other. As you're doing the lunge, you still think about your tripod foot. Okay, that doesn't change. So as you're coming down, my left leg is in that tripod foot position. Okay. As I come back up out of the lunge, I'm pushing with my heel. So I'm coming down, I'm pushing through my left heel to bring myself back up. Okay. And my torso is staying relatively upright. So we're not doing this. Okay, I see that a lot. Usually that happens when your glutes aren't working properly. So, once you've done one side, then switch sides. Good. You can also do upright like we did with the squat. And then you can alternate. Okay. If you don't like that way, you can go back and forth. Again, the idea is to make sure you have control of the steel mace the whole entire time. Okay, so we've done front squats, back squats, lunges. We've done thrusters. We're going to do bent over rows. So we're going to take an underhand grip like so. Okay. I'm going to hinge like I'm deadlifting with a slight bend in my knee. And then I'm going to row. Back is flat. I'm pulling the steel mace to right about where my bra strap is. Okay. And I'm taking my elbows straight back. So they're not winging out like this. They're straight back. And same thing. You'll do one side and then you'll flip sides for a set of 5. Nice job. Everyone doing okay so far? Great. Okay, so next we're going to work on deadlifting. So deadlifting, another term for that is hip hinging, okay? How do we do that? We do it the same way we just set up for our rower, for our bent over row, okay? We want our feet right underneath of our hips. We want our back nice and flat. From there, I'm going to crack or hinge at my hips. The bar is going to slide right down my thighs. Once I get to my knees, I'm going to break. Okay, so this is your position. Then I'm going to use the back of my thighs and my butt to bring that back up. So hinge, crack, pull. Hinge at the hip, crack at the knee, pull with the butt. Good. And same thing, 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. This time I'll do a front view for you. So I'm going to hinge at my hips, slide down, crack at the knee. Okay. Pull up with my butt. Hinge, crack, pull, squeeze. Hinge, crack, pull, squeeze. And we'll do 5. Good. All right. Next we'll do strict press. Okay, we've already kind of done that a little bit when we did our thruster. So now we're going to take the squat part out of it for the thruster, and we're just going to do the overhead portion. Okay. And same thing, we're going to do 5 on each side. So here's my start position. This time my elbows can be down. So they're going to be here, not here. Okay. My feet are right underneath my hips, my butt, and my belly is nice and tight, like I'm braced like someone's going to punch me in the belly. Okay. From there, I'm just going to take my head back slightly and then press overhead. Okay. As I bring the steel mace down, I take my head back and then bring my head through. Reason why we do that with our head is because we don't want the steel mace going out around our head. That's too much work and too hard on our shoulders. So in order for me to have a straight line up, I got to get my head out of the way. Okay. So slight tuck back, come through, tuck, come through. Once you've done 5 on one, switch sides, and then we'll do 5 on the other. So tuck back, press, and then come back down. Tuck the chin, press overhead, come back down. Tuck, press, come back down, and then one more for good measure. Tuck, press, come back down. Okay, so that's pretty much your full body workout. You've worked everything. You've worked your legs, you've done deadlifts, we've worked our squats, we've worked all of our hips and thighs. We've gotten some core activation and balance just based on how we have to hold and manipulate the steel mace. We worked on our back muscles by doing the bent over rows. We worked the full body when we did the thrusters. And we worked on specific upper body strength doing the strict press. There are tons more exercises that we can do, but for now, just starting, this is a good base for you guys. In my next few videos, we will expound a little bit further into different, more challenging types of steel mace drills, okay? But we'll work into that. So that's it for today. If you have any further questions, feel free to message me, send me an email. If you are struggling with some of these moves, just reach out, okay? I'm here for you guys. Hopefully you all will have a great rest of the afternoon.